Hey crew, it's Ben, and I'm back with another reaction video. This was a little bit different because it's not music, but this is going to be our friends over at Inspire to put up yet another video that I want to check out. We're going to check it out together. This came out a while back. They actually put this out last year. But I'm just now seeing it. It popped up in my feed, so I want to see what's up. And so we're going to watch it together and see what's going on here. This is an eye-opening Lakota origin story. Is this our history? Elder Dwayne Hollowhorn Bear. We're going to see what's up. Let's go. I like to dig into the creation stories of lots of different cultures because they all contain basically the same story. And it's funny.
All ethnic groups around the world have an idea or a belief as to where did everything come from? Where did this world come from? Where did the sun come from? Where did the moon? Where did the trees come from? Where did I come from? And they have a belief of creation or evolution or a combination of the two. Well, as Lakota people, we still talk about our origin story on where everything came from. We talk about an entity we refer to as Ia. Ia was a power, a massive power, very powerful that nothing else could exist except for Ia. Ia at a point took a part of itself and began to form this orb, and squeezing tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until what oozed out of it looked like it's blue blood, leaving a half hard brittle body. And Ia called it Makha, earth. Makha existed in total darkness, questioning Ia, what's my purpose? What's my reason for being here? Why am I here? Is there anything else? Ia took other parts of itself and created.
I have to stop this and we have to talk about things. And it's interesting to note that if you look at this through a different lens, right? This is obviously the creator. This is obviously God, the essence, the force, whatever you want to call it. I call it God because I believe that it's God. That we are all a tiny sliver of divine, but we are none of us divine. And so what he's talking about here in a scientific viewpoint is the coalescence of a planet, right? Like it's talking about taking it from a mist type form of all matter expanded and then compressing it over time into the planet, expressing the water into the rivers and the lakes and the oceans, and the dry brittle part is the land that is left over after the compression. That's a scientific basis. Now the question becomes, how did these people that supposedly, and I say supposedly because of the Eurocentric model of things, had no technology here, the no knowledge, no nothing, then how did they know about the process of a planet forming, right? Like there's no example of that readily available in nature. You don't just see things form randomly. They sprout from seeds, they grow from, conception, but you don't see that. So how did they know that? Because there was knowledge before the knowledge that we currently hold.
Apewi, the sun. Hanwewi, the moon. Wichakpi Oyate, the stars, the galaxies, the universe, and put everything in correlation with itself. And time went on. Time went on. But at a point, Makha complained. When I face to Ampewi, it becomes very hot, uncomfortable. And so when I turn and I face to Hanwewi, the moon, it becomes dark and it gets cold. Could you give me a covering? Something to protect myself? Ia, in counsel with the other entities of itself, told Makha, If we give you a covering, you must promise to bring forth life and to nourish it. Maka promised. And so life went on. Life went on for time, a very long time. But at a point, life became ugly, very corrupt, senseless destruction, killing. Maka said, this is not the way that life is intended to be upon me. I must cleanse. Now try to imagine all of these catastrophes happening all at the same time. Earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, hurricanes, hundreds of them, hundreds of tornadoes. Maka, this 1/2 landmass, shaking and shaking and shaking, shaking so hard that the 1/2 landmass broke apart, separating
So that is Pangea and the fall of the Babylon Tower.
the peoples.
Like, those are linked, right? Atlantis, Babylon, and Pangea.
Into the different continents. And life went on. But at a point again, eons of time later, life again became very corrupt.
And not Babylon in like the Iran, but like Babel, the Tower of Babel. The actual place where mankind had come together with one language and were trying to rival God before he struck them down. And there was a destruction of all life on earth and a great flood, calamity.
Very corrupt. Maka said, I must cleanse again. Those of you that are keeping the ways of life as intended to be, come deep down inside me, where I may protect you. Again, these catastrophes. And it came in the form of the Ice Age, changing the surface of the world. When the ice melted back, leaving lakes, bodies of water everywhere. Small lakes, rivers. In this beautiful area today, known as the Black Hills, Chesapa, in the southern Black Hills, we have a trickster in our culture. We call him Iktomi. Iktomi was walking around in the Black Hills. He was wandering around. It was an era of giants.
Seems like I remember something about giants inhabiting the land. Seems like I remember that from a different culture. Well, hold on. 2 different cultures. No, 3. Several different cultures. Talking about the giants that roam the land, right?
Giants, dinosaurs, and bears. Iktomi heard this heavy breathing and took to hiding under the bushes because he thought he was going to be trampled. But he didn't hear the thrashing of trees and shrubs, just a heavy breathing. Now, curiosity always gets the best of Iktomi. So he came out from hiding, listening to that breathing. He followed it, and he came upon this opening in the ground. Peered down into that opening and felt the wind come up, and the wind being drawn back in. He looked down into the opening, and he saw the subterranean species living deep down in that hold, calling down to them. He said, "Come up here, come here." But they were afraid. No, go away, leave us alone. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to hurt you. Come up here. I want to show you something. One brave young individual says, "I'll go see." And this individual came out, the very first one to come back to the surface of the world. And we call him Tchokahe, which means the very first. Came back to the surface of the world. Iktomi says, Look around you. Look around you. Look how beautiful it is. Feel the warmth of that sun. Isn't that nice? Feel that cool breeze. Here, try some of these choke cherries. Eat some of these plums. Aren't they delicious?
I love plums. I love plums. That's one of my favorite fruits.
Lay down in that soft green grass. That little stream of water, taste that. It's wonderful. Why do you want to live deep down in that dark hole when you can come up and you can have all of this? Go get your people. I'm going to go find my friend. We're going to prepare a grand feast for you. Bring your people up here. Tokaya says, I will do it. He goes back down into the hole, gathers the people together, and he talks about everything he experienced, how wonderful it was. But an elder is there. An elder says,
There's always somebody wanting to hold on to some shit.
Tokaya, there is danger. You do not know all of the danger that lurks up there. Tokaya says, no, I've seen it all. It's wonderful. We must get ready to go. The elder says, he's being very foolish. I must go ahead and make plans for when danger strikes. And so the old man sneaks away from the group, comes out of the opening, and transforms into the Buffalo Nation. Tokaya and the rest, they emerge out. And Iktomi is there with his companion, Anugite, the double-faced woman. Very, very beautiful on one side. But she would not let the people see her on this side. She served them, she talked to them, always on one side.
Always on one side. Huh? The trickster was one side, one-eyed. Huh? Very interesting.
Then at a point, after the people had gorged themselves, they ate. They were in the water swimming. They were sleeping in the grass. Sunbathing, you might say. And then Anugita turns, and she shows the ugliness, the hideous side of her. And the people panic. They scream. They run back to the opening. But their bodies had grown because of all the food they had eaten, all of the air that they breathed in, the water. Their bodies grew. They couldn't fit back into that opening to go back down. Now Iktomi loves to trick people. And when he sees them make a mistake, or he sees them hurt themselves, or when they're in misery, he laughs. He laughs. I did it. They're trapped on the surface. I did it. I got him. He's rolling on the ground laughing. Buffalo Nation comes forward. Buffalo Nation says, we are here for you. All that we are is for you. We are your food. We're your shelter, your medicine, your tools. And we became known as the Buffalo people, following the buffalo, relying upon the buffalo for everything. And the Buffalo Nation has never let us down. Because as we began to adopt and adapt to living on the surface of the world again, you might say we became a little overbearing, taken more than we needed, taken without respect, taken without giving anything back. The four-leggeds, the winged ones, they cut off communication with us. And he says, it's because of these two-leggeds that the world had to cleanse twice. Maybe this would be a better world without these two-leggeds. We should get rid of them. Yes, let's do it. We can do it. We can send into these two-leggeds all of these sicknesses, all of these diseases, and wipe them out. As they were going to proceed to do so. Underneath them, the plant life. The plant life said, it is not up to them to decide who lives or who dies. For every sickness, every illness, they send into the two-leggeds, We have a root. We have a medicine, an herb. And so the
And that's true. But we just forgot what they are.
balance was kept. And life
I still insist that the cure for cancer is going to wind up being the love bug. They imported the love bug here to South Louisiana back in the 70s, I believe, for aphid control of the sugarcane crop. Well, turns out they don't eat aphids. And all they do is breed and mess up your windshields. Like, they don't eat anything around here. We can figure out that there must be some kind of bacteria, whatever. Like, nobody's done extensive studies on them, right? And I think that the whole reason they're here, like, they're a cure for cancer, and like, it's in our face. Hey, look, here's the cure for cancer, literally splatting on your windshield twice a year.
went on. Life went on for a time again. But again, as two-leggeds, we became overbearing. Again, no respect, no honor. Creations. What are we going to do about these two-leggeds? Oh, Buffalo Nation. Buffalo Nation, you said you would be responsible for these two-leggeds. Look at the way they are. What are you going to do? Buffalo Nation said, we will take care of it. What are you going to do? You cannot go to them the way you are. They're very destructive. They'll kill you. They'll eat you. They consume everything. What are you going to do? Buffalo Nation said, we will take care of it. So at a point in time, they sent to us from the Buffalo Nation the white buffalo calf woman, bringing to us the sacred pipe to remind us that there is to be a spiritual connection of what is on this earth is in the stars. It's in the universe, and what's in the stars is on this earth, and the spiritual connection must be kept. Remember that story. Thank you.
That was excellent. That was excellent. Y'all make sure you get back over to Inspired's page. Give him a like, give him a share, give him a sub, throw him a comment. Let him know you appreciate what he's doing. I love digging into these type of stories. Like, I love hearing all the different variations of the stories. They all share a common thread. They all share a common theme. They all wind up being pretty close to the same story in the end. And I find that immensely fascinating because my God placed everybody where they are for a reason and with a purpose. And so it's interesting to see what the other inputs are. So this was great. Inspired, thank you for this. I appreciate it. To the crew, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate every single minute that you are here with me. I am praying for you every single day. Till next time, this has been Fitz Take. Peace.